Podcast.
All right. Straight talk, no chase.
She gonna see when it go live.
We are back. We are back live once again. I am your host / co-host, Tremp Simpson, alongside Cosby Digital, Kirk Keys.
Say something small.
And Miss Hazelnut.
See, I knew it. You can't never just be nice.
I'm just fucking with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we had to get together today because there are some very alarming things going on in the world, in our community, that we would love to discuss with you people. There's a lot of talk about a certain situation that went down in Dallas. Was that over the weekend?
I guess so.
When was that recorded? It was recently, right?
Yeah, it was recently for sure.
So we want to get into that. We also want to get into this new DC vaccination bill, which I think is very important because, they fucking with the kids. And lastly, we definitely want to get into the Tyson fight and the shenanigans that went along with that. So without any further ado, I'd like to see what the rest of these ladies and gentlemen have been up to this week. Even though I just saw y'all niggas yesterday, but
A lot happened from yesterday to today. A whole lot.
Mr. Digital, what you got?
First off, shout out to the Divine Purpose podcast. We were all on their podcast yesterday. The former member of the Straight Talk podcast, Otis. Say nah. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Shout out to Juice Man Dan and his wife. They got a new podcast, Divine Purpose. Make sure you look out for that. We're gonna have some links for that somewhere. But we had a great show with them yesterday. It was all around good night. Went to hang out a little bit after,
Oh yeah,
it was good times. Good time.
Kirk Keys knows everybody under the sun. I'll leave it at that. I can't roll around with this nigga, man.
I think that's a lie.
Man, that's all. That's just effective networking.
That's what I was trying to do on Divine
Had a good. Hey, look. Had a great day today. I was actually working on family business stuff. Shout out to KU Kids, the best daycare that is in Ward 7. That's in Deanwood. Working on some ads for them. So if you're a Ward 7 resident, you're looking for a great daycare to take your kids to. Daycare is like newborn to like 5 years old. They got a great program over there. It's definitely affordable for you, especially for DC residents. So take advantage of that. And also just came from dinner at Mastro's. Shout out to my good man Hamian over at Mastro's. Really looked out for me tonight. We celebrating, my friend circle. We celebrate our entrepreneurial anniversaries or independence, right? Shout out to KJ with Another Level Barbershop. He's been owning that shop for 2 years now, and it's been thriving. Shout out to Sam Johnson 3 Photography, awesome wedding photographer, and shout out to myself. You did that. Cosby Digital Marketing. So just back to the grind, man. After the holiday weekend, back to the grind, basically. You can turn your phone down, right?
Like, why you just hold it down and not turn
it? He tried to hold the phone down. You really like a grandpa with these phones. He's like, "Yo, do it. What do I do?" You know the silent button.
You got it, man.
So Hazel Vixen, how was your week?
I don't want no smoke.
I feel so less than, because my life isn't as colorful as you guys. Like, I'm a pretty simple person. I'm just trying to get off the merry-go-round that is Groundhog Day, and just making sure that every day is a different day. I'm excited that I was able to get my nails longer. That's literally like the fun thing for me, is like, ooh, I was able to get my nails longer because I'm not playing football for a couple of weeks. Like, that was it. I had a psychic reading. I'm fun with those.
Yeah, psychic reading.
Aren't you like a witch?
Yes, I am. I love that. Like, the full moon. So I'm kind of tired right now. Like, the full moon is draining me, and I'm trying to.
You got a psychic reading?
Yes, I love psychics. I love psychics, mediums.
So what were the lottery
hoo-has.
numbers?
I didn't ask that. I ain't asked that.
Seems like the first thing I'd ask is psychic.
Nah, I don't. See, for me, it's so. With the life that I live, I be wanting other answers. I be needing to know other stuff. So I'm always dialed in on, like, who is the people around me that should be no longer around me, like that kind of thing. I want to know who I need to escort out of my life, kind of thing, and whose energy is just not vibing with mine, that kind of thing.
Would she tell you? Would
I'll
she
figure
tell
it
you?
out
Would
after I
she,
hit the lottery.
would she tell you about us?
She honestly didn't mention y'all. She was just like, did I know what to do when it comes to y'all? So fortunately, I've been able to hold my own. Y'all gave me kind of a hard time last show, but I don't scare too easily. So
I thought you handled it well.
Well, a couple of people were like, yeah, they kind of gave you a hard time, but I don't scare too easily, so it's no problem.
This is probably their first time watching the show, because we give each other, keep them away from the.
Go ahead and say it.
We give each other a hard time on this show all the time. So, Exhibit A.
What y'all missed is, for a seat, they had an arm wrestling match, and I'm not gonna say who won or lost. However, I'm gonna try to get y'all dialed into some of these macho antics and some of these macho competitions.
Macho.
So I'm just sitting here like, I'm just trying to embrace my feminine energy and just watching them like,
Hey, look.
fight to the death for a seat. It was really interesting.
We need a new sound button that macho man.
Get that Trump joint in here.
Exactly.
Do that all this
I
rally.
have a feeling now that you're on the show, that's gonna come up a lot. We need a macho man.
I feel like that's the same thing as his main
Nah,
man.
it's
two
slightly
buttons.
different.
It's two different.
Do you know
buttons.
who the village people are?
I mean, it's the same point, but it's two different perspectives.
Yeah, it's two different messages at that point, I think.
Okay, all right, cool.
So yeah, I haven't been up so much. Just kind of, again, the mental health is really big. So anybody out there that's possibly suffering from mental health, I do encourage you to try to make your days colorful, do some things, go outside in nature. I know it's getting a little cold, but go maybe sit next to some water, whatever the case is. Try to get yourself outside of the mundane that comes with the pandemic and every day looking the same. So that's pretty much what I've been doing.
Try shrooms. Most jobs won't test for it because it costs too much.
Or it just doesn't
just
show
saying.
up in the right schedule of the drugs. So
Right.
They don't test for shrooms.
You got to get like a spinal tap to get tested for shrooms. So ain't nobody paying for that. I know I wouldn't.
It's fine. It's fine. You're cool. You're cool.
All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to talk
Nobody
about
asked
this.
You just gonna skip
Right,
Kirk
y'all
Keys
care.
though?
Nobody cares about me.
I feel like we asked you. Oh,
No,
no, we
You
didn't.
want to know what it is? What
Sorry,
it is? We're
sorry.
spending too much time
No
together, so you
orange
already know what
beanie.
I
You didn't
do.
ask Kirk Keys.
Get one little beanie.
I'm sorry,
One
Kurt.
little beanie. Stop forgetting about
Actually, I bought like 10 of them. So Instagram be getting me, man.
Beanie man. Beep the bum.
But
Girls them shit out.
back to the point. Yeah, I haven't really done anything since the last time I talked to y'all. Like you said, we were on Divine
Purpose
Podcast. I forgot the other P. My bad. Divine Purpose Podcast. Chill out.
I thought about it. I was like,
It's trigger.
He ready with the buttons. Trust me.
Trigger finger.
But Divine Purpose Podcast. Yeah, we were on that yesterday. We had a good time. I'm not even gonna talk about what we did beyond from now to Thanksgiving, all that good stuff. We had Thanksgiving already. I'd rather talk about. I know there's some people out here, y'all done had y'all Black Friday shopping. Y'all did that, got that out the way.
I've been shopping all week. Everybody's like 40%, 50%.
You got your Small Business Saturday. You supported them too.
That's all I support.
Did anybody tithe at church on Sunday? I know you didn't. We talked about that already. Okay, with Cyber Monday, anybody do that? I don't know.
Yeah, I did. I copped a couple things
All right,
today.
cool. Now,
It was necessities.
Don't forget, tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. That's what I'm about to hit you up about.
What are we giving?
So,
Do I gotta give a fuck tomorrow?
That's what
Does that count if I give a fuck?
Some bread. Yeah, you can give a fuck. You can also get
Pay
some
some
bread.
attention.
You can give some time. We actually taking time right now. We signing up mentors. So just go visit thecreative.school and you can donate
some
whatever
money.
it is you want to donate. Exactly.
shit, I already
And everybody
do that.
think they want to give time until you actually put time on the
I
table.
need some
that they
money. I
want.
ain't got no time for these damn kids.
So tomorrow, Giving Tuesday. Go ahead. Holler at me.
So
The creative that school. I ain't got nothing else to talk about other than that.
That's what's up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I called this very important meeting today because we got to talk about this shit that happened in Dallas. Me personally, I think it ties in directly to what our last show was about.
I don't know if y'all can see my eyes, but I just rolled them so hard. Like, let me do it a couple more times.
I think this ties into what my last show was about.
Roll them.
Empowerment gone wrong. All right. Table twerking. Ratchet or respectable? Was the owner right or wrong for the speech that he gave those young ladies that so eloquently coochie popped in his establishment? I want to start with the young lady tonight.
You already know. I think his delivery was way off, way off. I think that anytime you have a situation where you're playing hip hop, drinks are being served, and you're promoting like a party atmosphere to get patrons in the door, why are you upset that they're dancing? Now, do I think that they went too far dancing on tables and standing on chairs? Absolutely, too far. But to be off some I don't give a fuck and all that other stuff, like that was a bit much. He went a kind of hard. And I feel like, don't tell me you're doing something for the culture and then the culture responds and you act as if you're a white woman clutching her pearls. Like, I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that. Like, don't all of a sudden be disgusted by the very thing that you're promoting.
Oh, no.
Somebody hit the bomb. That was a bomb.
Look, I'll give her a bomb. I'm not biased. Even I completely disagree with that shit.
Yeah, of course. I don't expect you to do anything other than that. But that's how I feel. I just feel like, okay, fine. Like, if you don't want people twerking, don't play twerk music. Play some jazz.
But we're grown-ups. Like, music shouldn't...
Music moves you.
So you mean to tell me if he played Metallica, should people be smashing glasses and guitars?
You never know. You never know.
That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It only happens when you got a group of fucking hood rats in an establishment that act like they ain't never been no goddamn where. That's what you had.
Sympathetic resonance is a real thing. And so music touches us.
Hold on, I didn't go to college. Please explain to me what that means.
It's just basically where you connect to things differently. People connect to things differently. Like, if you listen to sad music, chances are you're going to feel a little sad. It's going to take you back to a sad moment. Twerking music is a jovial music. It's going to put you in a jovial space. Like, people think that, okay, if I play this music, they're going to spend more money. But with more money comes more drinks. More drinks comes, I'm a little more loose now. I want to dance. I want to party.
But
he hired it.
He asked them 3 times. He said, yo, please. He came to them calmly. Each table, yo, please.
Each table. So it wasn't even just one set of women.
But all 3 tables were together.
But that's what I'm saying. That's even crazy that it's impacting different people differently. Like, that doesn't say nothing.
You know what wrong though?
He went to each table 3 fucking times.
He hired a DJ.
But that doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, it definitely matters.
The man asked you to stop dancing, and then you taunted him.
And let me tell you what I think happened though.
And then the bitch got up on the goddamn table.
But on the table. By asking them to stop and then playing throw that ass in a circle is kind of taunting them women as well.
Exactly.
It's like they clearly trying to turn up. You asked them to stop, but then you didn't ask your DJ to stop playing throw that ass in a circle.
We are. This is unacceptable. We're making excuses for hood rat behavior, bro.
I just want to say I didn't excuse it. I'm just saying you just said they were taunted one side, but you ain't addressed the other side.
Who pops their coochie in the middle of dinner?
So let her
got a fucking problem.
Let her close out. Let her close out her statement on that.
In the middle of dinner, I'ma pop my coochie. Look, yes, I am green eggs and ham. Like, if that's what I feel and so inclined to do, that's what I'm gonna do. And what I feel, that's how I feel as it relates to the type of music that they're playing. You can't tell me to sit down and then play back that ass up kind of thing. Like, y'all know back that ass up.
You're an adult.
I know a lot of women who can't control themselves. Back that ass up.
They even had challenges.
They work at elementary schools.
On social media. They even had challenges on social media.
They don't know how to practice.
I think it was called like a try not to dance challenge, like or something like that. And they play all like the twerking music, like some Uncle Luke, all that came on, and people were really trying to maintain themselves and not dance. And so I think that, don't get on the tables. I agree with that. Don't do that. However, ask them to leave your establishment, but to like smack them on their hands off some, I don't give a fuck, this is for the culture, da-da-da-da. Like, you don't gotta talk down to me.
Yeah, that shit was fluke.
So let's be fair. Let's take what this man had to say into account. So I have his statement here. I'll pull it up for everybody to see. Let's go through it.
You should have did that. You should have read that first.
Well, I wanted to hear the excuses for the hood rats first.
You a reader?
I'm an avid reader.
Okay, let's get to it. No stuttering.
I might stumble, but I don't fall down.
No stuttering. Round robin in the classroom. No stuttering. It's your turn. No pressure.
All right. True Kitchen and Cocktails. This is from their official Facebook page, ladies and gentlemen. This is a long-ass paragraph.
5-minute article.
In response to the numerous comments and postings on social media, I will share a bit of detail associated with our guest twerking, being asked to stop, being addressed, and asked to leave True Kitchen and Cocktails. While I would like to apologize to the patrons who I offended by my poor choice of wording.
So he apologized.
Let's let the man talk. I think this full story and a bit of video may help your understanding of the final straw with the guest addressed and asked to leave. When the first incident occurred, the guests were politely asked to stop and have respect for themselves and other customers.
Respect for themselves.
Respect for themselves. So that's off right there.
Nigga, busting it wide open in a restaurant, you don't have any respect for yourself. I'm sorry, you popping your coochie in a restaurant.
If I walk into a restaurant that's playing throw that ass in a circle, I expect to see ass thrown. I expect to see ass thrown in the circle while I'm there.
All right. So it also says there are other videos that show much more behavior in the following videos, but we do not want to embarrass the guests sitting at those tables. Later, as another video shows, a customer stood on her seat, placed her hands against glass windows, and began to twerk. Unacceptable.
Yes. Throw that ass in a circle.
My immediate reaction was this woman could fall through this window because she was big as hell. And
ooh, don't fat shame.
We could be the target of a lawsuit if she is injured. My second reaction was enough is enough. After already addressing this behavior twice, these customers no longer deserve the courtesy of kindness I expressed in the earlier encounters as it was met with disrespect and intentionally ignored. And if you see some of the videos, no. If you can see some of the videos, which I'll show, right? He was speaking to one guest and they were taunting him, like basically telling him to get the F out of here and twerking more. Like, come on, these bitches was out of line.
Bitches, ooh.
I'm sorry, but they were. We can't reward this type of behavior, but
you're reading. Right. Get back to reading.
We hope these additional videos give you a bit more insight into what led to the guests being admonished, but we understand we cannot please everyone. As usual, 97% of our guests yesterday were fantastic. This is an indictment on the very few who don't respect our restaurant. However, we reserve the right to address guests who we believe fall below the standards of the concept created. True Kitchen and Cocktails is a concept created with many months of planning and much more to ensure it is a concept Dallas will love. To date, our plan has worked well, and we are thankful for our guests. As for the music played, moving forward, we will adjust our playlist and DJ selections. However, regardless of what had or will be played,
that's a good point right here.
No guest had the right to come into our business home and stand on our furniture because of any song played. As for the twerking being a part of our culture, we do not welcome the part of the culture that will come into a restaurant, stand on furniture, and twerk while using culture as an excuse. Would you accept this for your home? We're not gonna leave off.
As yourself, the last sentence in that paragraph.
Hold up.
The last sentence in that paragraph.
Okay.
Bottom line.
As for yourself, if you would do this at any other restaurant, okay. As for yourself.
As yourself.
As yourself, if you would ask yourself if you would do that. He should have said ask.
Okay.
Ask yourself if you would do this at any other restaurant you frequent.
No other restaurant is playing trap.
That's not true. From the outset, we knew True Kitchen and Cocktails would not be for everyone, but we hope everyone would understand we are moving with the cause to give a diverse group of customers comfort food in a way never presented in Dallas. We are moving with the cause to show other minority entrepreneurs that they can now own their own building, own their own restaurant, and they can be successful growing their own brand. There is nothing that will deter my team from this cause. We want the full support of the community who understands our cause because we value you, and we will be here ready, willing, and able to serve you with respect. I gotta respect that. I mean,
it was a great statement. He addressed everything.
Hold on.
He stated his flaws.
Pass the rock over here.
He said
Pass
where
rock.
he messed up with the music,
Hold on, behind the back.
and he said what he was gonna do.
So, this statement, shed light on a few things, right? First, I found it to be very self-righteous and a little ignorant, right? You're playing. He's talking about the culture, right?
Oh, yes,
he's expressing what's going on with the culture. You hired a DJ that's playing Throw That Ass in a Circle. I'm an avid restaurateur. If I'm deciding I'm going to, he said his place is
standing in the chair. She's standing
She's standing in front of it, but not
I had that
somebody
video.
on that
I had that
side.
video too.
Yeah, somebody on that side.
A fine dining restaurant. First of all, this joint is, I can probably put my hand to the front of the restaurant, to the back of the restaurant. It's not what he's making it out to be.
Dallas is open as shit, by the way. Let's notice how open Dallas is.
It's really giving that. So, and I'm familiar with Texas culture. If you decide to play twerk music, serve Hennessy, serve drinks, and
With
tell
all
people
them stallions,
they can't dance in a restaurant, you're setting yourself up for failure, number one.
Stallions are.
If you're hiring a DJ, you're participating in the culture. So you can't want the culture to be in your restaurant. Use the DJ to set the ambiance, to bring that culture to your restaurant, and then be upset when the culture shows up to your restaurant. And if you say you have a fine dining establishment, I've never been.
What culture are you talking about?
I've never been in. I was just in Mastro's. If I walked in Mastro's and they were playing Throw That Ass in a Circle, I would walk back out because that's not what I'm there for.
I'm trying to.
And he's saying it like he got some outstanding.
Oh, you showed the other angle.
Was there more?
Yeah, it's another angle.
Okay.
This is on the table.
This is the one on the table.
That's a whole booth.
Like this just a dude who he got his panties in a bunch.
Is she
because
standing on the table though?
He doesn't have his panties in a bunch.
now he definitely had it. So let's address his speech when he said, "I'm trying to do this for us. This is for the culture, and I don't want this in my establishment." So you saying you're doing this for us, but you as the owner hired a DJ that's playing trap music. As an avid I've been in restaurant hospitality for 10 years. Trip Simpson, you've been in hospitality and events for about 8 years. When you want to set the tone for an event, the first thing you do is go hire a DJ. If you hire a DJ for a spot, you're setting the tone and the energy for the space. If you don't want that space to have that type of energy, you do not hire a DJ, or you instruct your DJ to play a certain playlist that's not gonna get people turned up. If I walk in a restaurant and I hear back that ass up, throw that ass in a circle, flap your wings, any of the various twerk songs, I'm expecting to see some ass twerking because that's the atmosphere you're setting up.
If that's what you expect, then you have very low expectations in life, bro.
No,
especially if someone,
real.
If someone comes over and says, "Yo, can you please stop the dancing?" Like, I know you hear the music, but like, this is not the time for that right now.
That's not real.
He came in, but he asked him that.
But that's not real. So
it's my establishment. If I ask you to do something, nigga, you do it. Or get the fuck out. Like you said.
So, and if this was a real fine dining restaurant, that speech he did, that self-righteous bullshit, that speech wouldn't be necessary. You know what real fine dining restaurants do? They actually leave. If you don't leave, they call the police, and it's no conversation.
You don't hold court. Then what they would have said?
Hold on, yeah.
People wouldn't have had a problem.
But that's not even okay, because then you'd be mad that he called the police on.
I wouldn't be mad.
He rather give him that speech.
He did what these motherfucking hood rat bitches need to hear sometimes. Bitch, sit your ass down.
It sucks because I be agreeing with you without agreeing with you. I don't agree at all.
Let me get something straight. Let me get something straight. I do not condone just calling any woman a bitch, right? But it comes to a point where you have to just send that energy people way. You doing too much.
Did he answer this question? Did he set the atmosphere? Did he set the atmosphere for this to happen?
They taunted that man. It kept on twerking.
Trip Simpson, did he set the atmosphere for this to happen?
You're not gonna taunt me.
And that's what I'm saying real quick. Bro, hold on.
Answer the question. Trip Simpson.
You already know he did.
Did the owner set the atmosphere for this to happen?
I set the atmosphere for adults to come, eat, drink, have a good time without being fucking ratchet. I'm playing some fucking just because I'm playing music don't mean you got to bust.
No, he's playing ratchet music.
Wait.
What's ratchet music? Because we just had
Throw That Ass in a Circle was the song they were dancing to. Do you know who makes Throw That Ass in a Circle?
I don't know. Somebody ratchet probably.
So y'all have both established your points. We know y'all arguing for no reason. So now we about to play the middle real quick. So you do have a point. Fine dining restaurant. They would tell him what they told him. He did address them, and then he would tell them to leave or call the police. But we all black here. It's like, why do I need to call the police if I can address you the way I need to address you? You can either then decide you want to change or decide you want to leave and go ahead and do that. We can settle up and make your way, and we don't got to worry about getting the police involved, all of that. If they got the police involved, you'd be mad at some niggas calling the police on some niggas. So
I wouldn't.
I'm not done. That's just one part. That's just one part. I'm not done.
I wouldn't.
But I'm not done. So the other half of this is
he's a Gemini.
He should have, and the whole point is he should have still addressed his DJ rather than addressing them women. If you want to address the women a couple times and they didn't adhere to what your request was, address your DJ too. You addressed the DJ when you wanted them to shut the music down right quick to make your high horse speech.
We don't know if he addressed the DJ or not.
We don't. But if he did and he still played Throw That Ass in a Circle, it don't matter. Your DJ didn't listen to you either. So why are you making a speech to him rather than making a speech to the DJ? Because that's the person you hired and that's the person who you're paying to be there.
My nigga, he asked adults to behave themselves.
Was the DJ an adult?
Hold on. No. Let's put this in perspective. He asked a group of adults.
I understand what you're saying. No. But that doesn't mean that the DJ also couldn't play different music.
To act like adults. They then decided not to. 3 times in a row.
We don't even know how old these women are. What if they like 21,
they
20, fresh?
It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
It does matter.
It does.
It was all cool.
That's all context.
Listen, it was all
your daughter gonna be 20, 21 when they want to celebrate her birthday and twerk.
It was all cool.
And you gonna be mad when the owner address her like that.
Listen, don't put that on my daughter.
I'm just saying, she might. And you ain't gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad how they addressed her.
Wait a minute. I want to get one thing across. Okay. You want to twerk, you want to have fun, cool. I've addressed you twice and asked you not to do it. Like, at this point, you're disrespecting me. Then, when you hop your big ass on my table and then put your big old grizzly bear paws on my glass windows, now you disrespecting me. Now you taking me to a point that we can't come back from.
Okay, wait. Do y'all remember a few years back where they stopped playing songs like Tear the Club Up and they stopped playing certain songs because they knew energy was going to invoke a certain behavior?
Who is they, though?
The same way Go-Go. Club owners. They pushed out Go-Go to the county and all of that. Same thing.
No, seriously.
It's
club owners definitely stopped playing
We try
Go-Go.
to act like music influence.
Like if you buck in certain places, they stopped playing Tear the Club Up. Mafia wasn't being played in the club for a while. A lot of that South stuff, like they wasn't playing Scrappy and stuff because they knew the energy that was going to invoke in the patrons that was at those places. So you can't tell me that it doesn't make sense that if you're playing a certain type of music, why are you? Now I do agree, and y'all, this is going to be rare. I agree that once the cleaner address those women, hey, y'all got to chill out, stop dancing, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I think that the women should have understood, okay, we're doing something wrong. However, then the music needs to change because you see that the energy in your patrons isn't changing. And you don't want to change the atmosphere for all of your guests. So just do enough. Just change it, dial it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Put some jazz on. If that's what you're really trying to do, put some jazz on. So those people leave and then change the music again. But
play some Jay-Z party.
I think that we're doing what we tend to do a lot. We're making excuses for piss poor.
What it is you're deciding what you're because you're also making excuses for the owner. Everybody has a role and they play here. Everybody plays a role.
At the end of the day,
pay attention to everybody's role. It's all about perspective,
bro. If normal adults can go to a restaurant and listen to music and eat and chill,
but it's never trap music. Never. They're not playing.
It's never
throw that ass in a circle.
So now we're getting to a more even worse muddy waters here, right? Because what I was trying to tell y'all last week is that a lot of this crazy ass music incites bad behavior. Now all of a sudden,
I feel you. What I'm saying is, people like to act like. Listen real quick. People like to act like music isn't influential. Last week we were arguing that it was. Megan Thee Stallion makes music that influences the culture to do certain things.
That wasn't my argument from last week.
Now you're saying music is influential. Hold on.
My argument from My argument from last week.
Real quick.
My argument from last week was that Megan Thee Stallion should make her music, but she should not be considered an empowering, influential person Because when people like that
But
are
the
empowered,
reality
are
is-
influential, then you got hoes twerking.
But the reality is she is
steakhouse
because she makes music, and what music is influence, and what it does is influence people. It causes you to makes you influential,
let's be
and it
honest.
causes people to do things, especially under the influence of other things like drugs and alcohol. And she was a big joint. I ain't trying to fat shame, but food. Like women get happy when they eating. So all
and
these
it's comfort
things,
food.
all encompassing. What is it going to make them do? Dance
And
because you just told them to
At
throw
the
that
end
ass
of
in a
the day-
circle. So if you really want your restaurant to change and have a different appearance, change the music because it'll change the environment.
'Cause- and-
all
and-
of these things are influence. It actually impacts people in the way that they act, believe it or not.
Because you
Consciously or
eating,
subconsciously,
and you're
this shit is
eating-
important.
You're eating around your friends and your family. Y'all are playing music that is familiar to the culture. It feels like you eating at your mom's house or at your grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? Like you eating amongst your cousins.
You got 3 tables full of people. You with your people.
And let's get down to the actual business of it. If you use the DJ and the music to bring people to your space, you're profiting off of the culture and the music.
They probably knew that.
And so if you set that atmosphere,
Probably
if they come in, they might have came from another brunch, might have came from somewhere where that's acceptable. If you walk into a space where a DJ is in a bar, lounge, or club, don't act like we don't live in DC, the capital of the turn up brunch. I do a turn up brunch. Our goal is to make good music at brunch,
And twerk
give
it
them
next to the
give them
pancakes.
mimosas, give them Henny, so they dance during brunch. That is an actual formula that he's using to make money to bring people in. But when it goes wrong for him, you can't be mad about that.
If the man said, I don't want no twerking, and I've come to you several times,
Yeah.
you do not then get on the table after I asked you to chill. You got on the table, my nigga, the table.
So I'm not
Or the
excusing. I'm
chair.
not
I think
excusing.
it was the chair.
So this is the
But
thing.
either way.
It was on a
It was
chair.
the chair.
But
But
I'm not excusing her
No,
behavior.
it was the
But what
table,
I'm-
my nigga.
but
He
what-
said it was the table.
He ain't say that.
Yes, he did.
He said furniture.
He said furniture. She stood on the
said
chair.
furniture.
Table for furniture.
He
She
said the
stood- she stood-
glass.
it
The
was on
witnesses
He
said
said
it was the
chair
goddamn
and the
table.
She was on it. We watched the
listen,
video. She
He
was
said
on the chair.
and the glass.
First of all, it's not clear where she was on that video.
She was on the chair.
It wasn't 100% clear.
I've been
but
on
she looked
Twitter all
definitely
day reading all the
She was
comments.
on the chair.
To
Witnesses
me,
say
it looked one foot on the
bench
table,
was-
one
but
foot
the
on the
bench was
chair.
on the
I ain't gonna
table.
lie, but
And the table was wobbling.
She was on the chair.
She was about to go through the glass.
Second of all,
according to the story,
his statement was wrong in terms of saying
Respect yourself. I didn't
Respect
like
yourself. How are you telling somebody to respect yourself? If I looked up your establishment online, I want to take
what I
want to
see.
take my girl on a
Respect
date. I want to
yourself.
take my kids out. I want to bring my mother-in-law out somewhere, right? And I walk into your fine dining establishment and back that ass up and throw that ass in a circle. And ain't the edited version. And it's a DJ blaring that shit out. Is your establishment respectable?
Is it fine dining? At
Is
that
it
point?
fine dining at that point? If I walk in and throw that ass on a circle? If I walk in and here
I
throw
brought
that ass
my
in a circle,
grandparents for their
I'm
anniversary
looking for that
to your
ass in a
fine
circle.
dining, and they got throw that
Hey,
ass
Look,
in a circle.
I want to give y'all a real life example. I experienced this at Union Oyster Bar and Lounge. We had a brunch, a Sunday brunch, right? We had two factions that wanted to figure out how we were going to do this brunch. Some people were promoting to families and situations, but the other faction were promoters. Like, we're going to promote to our network. So when Sunday came, we had families in there and we had strippers in there. We had the normal Sunday turn up brunch crew of DC. Then we had people on Sunday dates and dinners with the Experience Union during the week, which was a fine dining restaurant. They sat down, got good steaks, salmon, good food. But it mixed with the crowd where we had Fridays and Saturdays. It was turned up with a DJ. So that Sunday, them two crowds collided. And what we had was a DJ on stage, strippers twerking, girls having fun, drinking mimosas. And on one side of them, you had grandmas, sons, daughters, and they looking like, what the fuck's going on in here? But that was a failure of us in the restaurant. We didn't pick a lane. We either gotta be the chill Sunday brunch where you can bring it like front page, where you can bring your family, have a good time, or you gotta be barcode, you gotta be park, you gotta be that. You can't be both. He's trying to walk the fine line of have a DJ play twerk music, give you mimosas, a Hennessy cocktails, but then tell you, oh, twerking is beneath you. That's not how.
We don't know what time this happened.
That's not real.
We don't know what time this happened.
It doesn't matter
Those sound
what
like
time.
excuses, bro.
It
When
doesn't.
they
See,
said
you're
you making
making excuses
now
for
you
it.
making excuses.
It doesn't matter what time it was.
First of all, the only
management, we failed.
The only facts
like
are
that.
this.
He about to be
the
red.
nigga told her and them, please stop doing doing this.
And he looks like a fucking idiot. As management,
It's my goddamn. It's my.
All you gotta do is tell your DJ,
because as management,
you gotta be smart.
Fail.
You gotta actually make executive decisions. Do you go talk to your patrons,
I don't know.
who you've already talked to
I'm smart
twice?
enough. I'm smart enough to go out and not
yell at your patrons in a restaurant and cursing at them and all of that type shit when you're trying to do business.
He
So as a
yelled
businessman,
after the bitch got
hold
on the table.
on. But a couple of days ago, we just talked about businessmen. So as a businessman, how are you going to
Don't
approach
get
this?
frustrated as a businessman,
Exactly.
remember?
Are you going to approach this like you need to go
I'm
curse
not
out
gonna-
some women?
he look like a
Hold
cold-
on. Let me
look
ask
like
a
a cold
question.
bitch.
I'm
Do
not
you need
gonna
to go
hold you.
curse out some women, or do you need to go talk to your DJ and just ask him to play different music?
He
Which
look
one
like-
is more professional
he look like a
as a
cold
businessman
bitch.
who owns a restaurant?
I would have comped all their meals and told them to get the fuck out.
He looked like a cold bitch.
Well, I agree.
That would have been a good solution. But he looked like a cold bitch standing on the soapbox trying to lecture them about what's respectable
Well,
and
I
not
mean,
respectable
that's what I didn't like.
when you're profiting from literally putting a DJ and say, hey, Slim, play this shit to get him in here and get him having fun. As when that situation happened with me, we had to sit around as management and look at each other. We failed as management because we did not establish the culture of our restaurant. We either got to go party turn up brunch or we got to go family brunch. You can't do both. He's trying to skirt the line. So
Yeah, you gotta pick
that's
a
poor
lane.
management on his part.
I just think he didn't want people busting him wide open in the establishment.
So why are you playing throw that ass in a circle?
I mean, you know,
That's going to incite busting.
hell,
your wide
I mean,
open. It's telling you exactly
what's
what to
funny
do.
to me is niggas will go to a white club, right? And not wear a white t-shirt, not do any of the things that they don't let you do when you come in there, and they'll respect the establishment, no matter what's played.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You just making shit up now.
Niggas are paying extra.
What are you talking about? We literally got to get thrown out for our dress code. It was Mastros today, and they was like, "Hey, bro, I'm trying to wear this hoodie today. I got ripped jeans. I'm coming in here.
Mastros is on their last leg right now.
You gonna refuse my business or not?" But we're talking about actual, real fine dining versus nigga shit. You can't put up nigga shit.
I mean, I'm not gonna
as
call a
fine
man shit
dining.
nigga. I never been there before. I'm not gonna call it nigga shit.
I looked at it. I can look at it and see. He's talking about I spend all this money for this furniture and it. Come on, son.
I saw niggas in there being niggas, and he addressed them.
So what crowd are you catering to if you have a live
Honestly,
DJ
that's
playing
all water. That's all.
No, it's not
that's
water
nothing.
under the bridge. What?
My nigga,
No, answer the
I
question.
asked you to stop.
Answer the question.
I asked you to stop, and
Answer
you
the
kept
question.
on doing it. That's the only thing that matters.
Answer the question. What crowd are you catering to if you hire a live DJ
I
that plays
cater
trap
to these
music?
motherfucking nuts. Stop twerking in my goddamn restaurant, or you can get the fuck out.
What crowd are you catering to if you hire a live DJ that's trap
I
music?
feel like everybody stands and we can go to the next topic because y'all not going to sway each other.
Nate Robinson. So, let me say this. I saw a lot of
funny ass memes.
No. That memes were hilarious. But I saw a lot of niggas, Dr. Umar Johnson. And a couple of other, and a couple of these,
Hashtag Dr. Umar Johnson.
Hashtag.
and a couple of these
one
other
hashtag.
niggas, right?
Umar gonna pull up on you. Keep talking about
Let's
it.
go.
Trip Simpson in DC.
I know he still got some of that 2 million.
I'm coming to
I'll take
see
his
you.
ass to court. That's fine.
He make the best memes.
Listen. So now it's, man, the brother was courageous enough to get in the ring. Why y'all doing the brother like that? This and this and that.
Yeah, who said
Nigga,
it was a random
he went on a fucking celebrity boxing match and got his ass knocked out. Nigga, you gonna get dragged. It ain't nothing personal against Nate Robinson.
Oh, it was Gilbert Arenas. That's who was saying all that, like trying to back him.
Gil kept it
It
a
was
buck.
solid. Yeah, it was
Gil kept it a
solid.
buck.
Nah,
but
Floyd backed him. He was like, "You still my man. You know people don't know about boxing. I'ma hold my black brother up." Like, what the fuck did Floyd become pro-black? When he became pro-black only when
I'm telling you, fuck all these niggas.
Floyd probably who hyped Nate up and said,
You
"Yeah,
got your
man, you
ass,
can do it."
you got your ass knocked out by a nigga in the Mickey Mouse Club. That nigga was literally in the Mickey Mouse Club.
and he wore your jersey the next day.
Yo, shout out to motherfucking
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's lit.
I mean, I don't really fuck with Jake Paul like that. I don't know whether he's a white supremacist or not. So before y'all take the shout outs the wrong way, I'm just gonna say
Before y'all take the
Listen,
shout out the wrong way, because we know you a Trump supporter and all that.
that nigga, I'm not
know.
a fucking Trump supporter. That nigga carried it. He knocked that nigga out, but let's talk, the fight wasn't fair. Nate Robinson's 5'9", Jake Paul's 6'2".
Ooh.
How the fuck did that even happen?
It's
called
weight
him out,
class.
bro.
If they the same weight, that's what matters. Boxing
They
is about
probably
weight.
not even the same weight though. Look at his and the
Probably
reach.
not.
The reach is probably
Yo.
completely different. Everything was
He
off.
talking about
by
the
that
reach.
He accidentally knocked him out the first time.
It wasn't. It wasn't fair because Jake Paul is a trained fighter. He's been like
He is?
fighting.
Who called who out?
Like he's been fighting. So Nate was stepping into a ring with a trained fighter. And you could tell because he was fighting all frantic, no defense. And he left himself wide open for that waylay that he
What I do want to do is shout out Snoop. I think he needs to get a contract to.
Fuck yeah,
to
Snoop
announce
was like,
boxing from
oh
here on out.
Lord.
Yeah, he needs to announce boxing.
Snoop was on fire.
He just found a new career. Actually, like if they wasn't looking at him before,
So
they
would y'all
definitely
be
looking at him
open
now.
to more celebrity boxing matches though?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
I would love to see all.
So
No, that's about to be a
Tyson
great
actually
platform.
has I know the acronym is LOL, but what is it? Legends Only League is what it's called, I believe. And so he plans on actually having more.
I'm talking about like
celebrity-
regular celebrities though. I'm not talking about
like celebrity
more
deathmatch
boxers,
type thing instead of
like
boxing.
celebrity
Yeah, I would watch
deathmatch,
that.
yeah.
That's entertaining.
I think at one point
There's a lane for
Chris
that.
Brown and somebody else was supposed to box at one point.
Wasn't it Chris Brown and Drake or something?
Nah, it was
No,
Chris
Bow
Brown and
Wow.
Soldier Boy.
Soulja Boy.
It was that
Yeah,
Soldier Boy.
Soulja Boy.
And then have Snoop commentate that?
I had Soulja Boy
That would
knock
be
Chris
genius.
Brown ass out.
That would be genius.
I would watch that.
There's a super lane for that.
Nigga, Soldier Boy
Super
looked like
lame.
this fucking mic stand.
I don't know. Y'all be going on Soldier Boy. I can't deny what
That
the
what he's
impact
done.
that he's
Yeah.
had on the culture.
Draco.
No, Soldier
facts.
Boy a legend, like
legend.
certified legend.
Like so, it's,
Nobody's
As far as
Question that.
and entrepreneurs in the game, he might be top 20 all the time easily.
Back to Nature Boy. Back to Nate Brown.
Nature Boy.
He got his
Nate
motherfucking
Robinson
ass.
and Nate Robinson.
He got his
Nate
ass
Brown.
knocked out.
Who's
And
Nate
listen,
Brown?
he deserved to get laughed at. I mean, it is what it is. Like,
but nobody's exempt to laughs. That's
Right.
the thing. Like you doesn't matter. Like people
Yeah,
are
you
getting
set yourself up
laughed
to be a meme if you set yourself up for a boxing
Yeah,
match and
that's
you ain't
what
even
it
a
is.
boxer.
That's
Like,
what it is.
it's
you went to
possible
go fight
wrong.
a Disney nigga.
You win
YouTuber,
some.
and
You don't feel bad
But
here.
he knocked your ass
But
out.
shout out to the Legends League though. Like they got something right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got people to pay $50 to see that. It's like the big three, but for like fighting.
But better.
So I want to. I watch Lennox Lewis. I watch Evander Holyfield, and if they have a good undercard or two goofies that want to fight each other, that shit was entertaining. Because honestly, it's about the atmosphere around it. Everybody gonna throw the fight party. Everybody gonna have a good
Exactly.
time. Like.
And what you gonna do?
Imagine when you get back the
Mayweather's
crowd.
gone. So
Yeah,
you
like
gotta do something.
we literally watched Mayweather versus McGregor. Everybody bells on. That was a circus exhibition, and them pay-per-view did crazy numbers. Like
Yeah,
them
imagine when you
niggas
can get
got
back the
M's
crowds
off.
and
They
all
got
of that
M's
too.
off of that. So
Real quick, can we give a moment of silence to boxing? Real quick, just 5 seconds. Okay.
I don't think boxing's done because that Wilder and what's the
My
name
nigga.
fight generated a lot of interest.
It did, but like
Yeah, but if Wilder or what's his name don't come back,
Wilder's
nobody
done.
cares anymore.
I don't think he's done. He ain't gonna lie, he got a hell of a payday, so he could be done, but I don't think he's done.
If I was Wilder, I'd be done. I wouldn't go back and fight that big white boy again.
I wouldn't either.
He should have worn that dumbass costume to the ring.
But maybe fighting Joshua though, is that out of the question?
It don't count. You gotta beat Cuz first, and you ain't gonna beat him.
Yeah.
So I don't think boxing is completely dead.
But we ain't even talk about Tyson and Roy. I mean, I'm acting like we got off the topic.
I ain't gonna lie. I will hold you. I fell asleep during that shit.
You
I mean,
tripping.
Tyson and
That
Roy-
game was a good fight. I mean, it wasn't a good fight. Like it was good. It was a good fight. Like,
was not a good
fight.
I was happy that it lasted 8 rounds. It was clear Roy Jones wasn't ready.
You were invested, though.
Yeah, but like you were invested for the entire time because you actually thinking Mike Tyson might actually accidentally knock this nigga out. But it was the rules that you couldn't. So even Mike Tyson,
No,
I
he
think
could have knocked him out.
he could have because you could do accidentally no matter what. He could hit him and knock him out. But it was
But
like
did y'all
certain
feel
rules of
like-
speculation. Like you was.
Did
it
y'all
wasn't
feel
shit
with
like
the
that.
rules that it was a pointless fight? Or
No,
were you
no,
still
no.
equally
It was still
invested?
I mean, it was
solid. It was
definitely pointless, but
protecting
it was
these
entertaining.
50-year-old men
When I
that
say
you actually
pointless,
want to
but
be
like-
protected because
Like
you
that-
respect them as human beings.
Like, to me-
they those are legends right there.
Man, Mike Tyson showed that you can
He still
change.
got it.
You can change your life around. Like 3 years ago, Mike Tyson was 100 pounds heavier, depressed, cocaine.
But
And
even-
he switched his whole. He got his marijuana business. He
But
started
do you
smoking
think-
weed every day.
Even
Became
outside
a
of that,
vegan,
it
and that
showed
nigga
that-
looked amazing.
Mike
Even
Tyson
outside of
can't
that,
show
though.
me shit.
Even outside of that though, he used to be a menace. He showed he can come back to boxing and box and still like end the round and end the fight and be a normal guy and have a conversation with you.
In order for me to listen to what Mike Tyson got to say, he gonna have to make another 4.
No, but do you think that this gave a purpose?
Shit, his fucking weed business make like
already had,
like 50, 60K a
say,
month. Like Mike's doing pretty good right now.
I was gonna say I think he already has a purpose because he has the weed business and all these other type things, but that's still not what his passion is. Those are things that you got money, and so like because you got money, you can start. And because you need to start businesses to stay afloat, he was doing those things. But yeah, I think he found a lane that's like, this is what I can do, even if it's just him versus other boxers. As we continue on, because it was clear he wanted a rematch with Roy, and it's clear that Roy is like, nah, nigga, I survived you. I'm good. I'm not even trying to fight you.
Did you see Roy after the fight?
He was trying to breathe, trying not to pass out. Like he had to take deep breaths and walk around just to not to pass out. You know what I mean? So
I didn't know what he was gonna cry or.
Yeah, I mean, Mike was clearly in better shape.
And he could clearly go 4 more rounds at the very least, if not more. And so I think he's ready to do that again with whoever else he needs to do it with, whether it be Evander.
Yeah, where's Buster Douglas at? Let's get a real fight going.
Yeah, but I don't know if any of those people are ready. I'm sure they done washed it up a long time, even before Roy did. So I think you're getting the right people.
I think shout out to Ice Cube. He set the stage for us understanding that in America that we can still celebrate our legends of sports, and that we don't need to see them at the top form for us to still enjoy them.
Is it celebrating though? Because at some point, did you start to feel bad?
They also could get knocked out.
Yeah, it was so bad, and you don't think it ruins their legacy?
Absolutely
it didn't ruin his legacy at all.
It gives viewers, especially that didn't know them or wasn't old enough to live through that time.
Right. Yeah, because I'm
gonna tell you why it doesn't.
Let me say something. Like say for instance, if you were to have like a reunion tour of your favorite group, and you hear how they sound now, you can be like,
you're gonna be mad at like a Casey and JoJo or like a Frankie Beverly, but the fact that you're there and you can still sing that.
No, like
it was definitely like watching Casey and JoJo.
Whitney, rest her soul. Like, but when Whitney started touring and she started doing her last album, I was like, it felt like she fell from grace for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't tolerate Whitney slander. I love her, but just to see your greats in their current form, know that they're not at their peak, it starts to feel away.
So because I don't feel like I ever cared enough about boxing, I may be biased, and I want to ask certain people when I leave here that I know real heavy in boxing and see how they felt about it personally. Nah, I want to see how they felt about it personally, because like I don't care about little stuff like that. I think it was solid that you didn't see Mike Tyson and Roy fight.
They weren't in the same weight class.
I know, and you wouldn't expect Roy to even be able to survive Mike Tyson, and he did, even if it was fluke, because Mike Tyson Mike Tyson probably could have knocked him out. It doesn't matter whether he really did or not. It don't matter whether he really did or not. We saw them go 8 rounds, and he ain't get knocked out. And we saw it be a draw, even though we know Mike won. Like Mike won, and he took it easy. Yeah,
I don't think so. I think Roy was a skilled enough boxer to know not to get himself. He felt he said it after the Jones. I felt them Jones like everything he hit me with hurt. So I'm about to tie this nigga up. You ain't about to. He wasn't gonna go out like.
I want to piggyback on what you're saying. Hold on, I want to piggyback on what he about to say, because that's actually a good perspective.
He seen that backstage.
I said that same thing. Nate Robinson showed you what it looks like to like not survive a fight.
Yo, Nate Robinson gave him flashbacks from
Tarver. He like, I ain't going out like that again.
Nate Robinson showed you what it's like to not be able to survive a fight. So what it did still show you was that whether they were physically fit or not, the ability to be able to survive, because you know how to fight mentally. So like he knew once he saw what Tyson was capable of, and he had to take and endure some of them punches, he knew what he had to do to survive.
He didn't hold the whole time. He did a couple little Roy Jones. He was moving
with his full capacity.
Yes, he was.
He's
50.
Mike Tyson was mad that he was being held. The thing is, when you're a smart boxer, you know, I'm Roy Jones. I'm gonna throw a couple jabs.
Mike Tyson
I'm gonna
made
get into the hole so that he can't hit me with his power punches that he got.
So why we shouldn't feel sorry for neither one of them?
I don't.
Exactly. Nobody does. That's what I'm trying to get across. I think this. I think it's
that's some that's legendary.
Who would you like to see next?
I would like to see maybe. I want to see De La Hoya maybe. De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad, like some of the big names.
How about Riddick Bowe versus De La Hoya?
Is Riddick Bowe alive?
I don't know. I was going to ask you that.
I still want to see. I want to see somebody that's like. I see Oscar like. You know what I'm saying? He still looks like he could do something. I've seen Trinidad. He still looks like.
He still looks like what?
Like I'm able to do something. He ain't like he's younger than them.
I'm sorry, I haven't hit the button in a while.
You ain't heard it in a while. You had to find it because he wasn't even nothing.
And he even baited you in, and you said it again.
So
I'm gonna say you think.
So
you
I
think
want to
Young Boy
look
looks
like big, like I said, like the big three type of example where you're not too far removed. Like let's say we see a Klitschko versus. You could Klitschko versus Klitschko, like the brothers fight, or something where people aren't too far removed to the sport, where you see them be like, "Oh hell no!"
How about Andre 3000 versus Young Thug?
Yes, okay. I have a
boxing.
That beat made me real mad.
Would y'all actually watch, say for instance, something like football? Would y'all watch all the old heads kind of come back and put on uniforms
No.
and have like an
Not
expedition?
football. No.
Football is
washed up.
that's not
When
the
you
place
done,
to play
you
like
done.
Would you
that.
do it? Would you do it? You wouldn't watch it?
I mean, I would watch
Football,
it.
when you done, you're done.
I would watch it, but it's
It's
not.
the
it's
same
not,
reason
it's-
why we kind of watch that the boxing
It
match,
takes such a toll
it
on
could
your
be
body
a
when
train
you're done,
wreck.
yeah.
Somebody could be really fucked up,
I
and
don't
we
know,
can say
but
we was
that
there to
I would
see
watch.
it.
That I would actually be interested to watch to see if they, still making them catches or still making them tackles. And I don't even know. Like I would be interested in that.
I would want to see him play flag. Like
That's what I was gonna say.
Nah,
if
fuck
it
it.
was something
It's gonna
like,
have to
like
be full-blown contact
like
or
a T.O.
nothing.
T.O. and a Chad
I'll take that.
It had to be
Ochocinco
flag.
out in like a Florida flag
Bruh,
league
if
with
it's
a
flag,
solid QB
nobody's-
throwing to them.
they're probably
and
already
some
doing
D-backs
that.
checking them. I could fade that. Yeah,
probably already doing
I
that.
watch on Ochocinco's Instagram. Like he go one-on-one with these young
It's got to be
rookies
full
in there.
pad. It's got to be full
So,
pad.
Like I would want to see if
I
Barry
would see
Sanders
that.
could still hit the hole and juke. Like,
Yo, it's gonna be a whole lot of hamstrings and Achilles fucked up.
Nah, I would watch it.
but this is the thing. It's a like
I would do that. I wouldn't do the real.
the
deal.
same way.
Not-
This
not
this
football. None.
the same way.
It's not interesting if it's
a
not
hit
real.
Band, a band that got a hit song, a
It
hit
is.
album, they can tour for 10 years. I want to see these athletes, if you're still physically capable to put on a show like Mike and Roy did, man, you earned that. Like Mike earned that the right for us to pay that money.
Especially if you're still living off your name.
I guess you're
just
right.
show up every so often. I would take that. But I feel like I'm afraid of my greats falling from greatness. Like I don't know that I want to put somebody out there, because what if Mike didn't do that?
Well, he
Y'all
got
wouldn't feel away?
his ass whooped the last 3-4 fights. Both of them got their ass whooped the last
already
few fights.
saw him,
Real
bro.
fights
Yeah,
they had.
but in this instance,
That's
if
real.
Mike didn't live up to his name in this instance, would
was
y'all
him
still
and Roy.
respect him? Would y'all still respect him?
We be like, the nigga 50 and he hit a J before the fight. I mean, what
Would y'all
the-
respect him if
Yeah.
Roy gave him the business?
His leg, so
Because he's
it's
still scary.
Like Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, their legacies
still
are
the dog.
solidified. Just even I would say even though
Kurt's
Youngin
hair
got
is
knocked
growing.
out.
This is his quarantine.
Like, he
hair,
got-
and he's getting cornrows. So he's over here. So I'm sorry, I had to interrupt. He's over here playing with it.
The whole
And he's over here
debating.
debating to get like cornrows before he tries his
not
locks, y'all.
debating. I'm
So.
going to get
Even though
cornrows.
Nate Robinson got knocked out, his legacy in the NBA and as an athlete is solidified. He won 3 slam dunk championships. He played college football at a D1 school and went to the NBA at 5'9". So his legacy as an athlete is solidified. So nobody's going to question that because you got knocked out. Nobody can question Roy Jones won the titles in 3 different weight classes from middleweight to heavyweight. Nobody can question
Y'all
these
must have
people's
forgot.
legacies are solidified. So anything after that is
there's no
like
tainting
it's
it.
extra. Nah, because who thinks about Mike Tyson? He lost his last 3 fights. Nobody remembers that shit. They don't even talk about it. Roy, they talk about Roy to Tarver because
That was classic.
Because Roy got knocked out. Like Tarver knocked him out of his prime. Up until that, Roy was still considered one of the greatest pound for pound fighters before Tarver ended that. After that, he was never the same. So it was like he got knocked out of the sport. You know what I'm saying? So people mention that, but they don't mention after that. Like,
Roy got Aikman.
huh? He did.
Roy got Aikman.
So what we got up next?
I think that was it.
Well,
That's it. That's all.
At least you got a topic out the hat.
Nah, we was talking about the vaccine.
I would like to say,
Oh, the vaccine.
yo,
We gotta talk about the
shout
vaccine.
out
And I think it
to
was-
my nigga Trayon White, the only nigga on the council who voted against that bullshit ass vaccine bill. Cosby Digital, let these people know what the vaccine bill is all about, just in case they haven't heard.
So it is a bill that is just got approved by the council that lets minors make the choice.
By
being
minors, what age
vaccinated.
do you mean?
I believe it's 11.
Yeah, that's
11 years old.
Fucking crazy.
11 and up. So it's 11 years old and up. So going up until, I guess, a minor in DC is 18 years old or 17. Does anybody know? I'm going to assume it's
18.
I'm going to assume it's 18. So
that's a good assumption.
So the bill passed related to vaccines. So I did some research on the bill today. So I have mixed feelings about it, right? I think the ages of like 11, 12, 13 don't have the capacity to understand about vaccines and why they're vaccinated. So I would be wary of them being able to have consent. When it comes to ages 16, 17, 18, we get into the high school years, right? Where a lot of the kids, the population of DC, they're basically taking care of themselves. They may live with an uncle or aunt. They may be they may live.
I still think that's pretty young.
My nigga, my kids gonna live with me until they out of this house. What are you talking about?
I mean, that's an ideal circumstance.
16, 17, what are you talking about?
So are you familiar with actually the demographic, especially high school students who are number one unhoused, live with family members? They aren't in a nuclear. They aren't in nuclear households.
Well, we'll give so that's unfair because the people who do raise their kids want the right to control their kids.
So it's not unfair because both exist. So you exist being a stable household, being able to take care of your kids and make decisions, but the kids who do live unhoused, who do live with aunts, who do live with uncles, who are wards of the state, which are a lot in
but there's
DC.
programs for that. You can go get emancipated.
There's something for all of those things.
You can go get emancipated as a
yeah.
minor, and if the city sees that you're fit to be emancipated, they'll emancipate you, and then you can make those decisions.
So,
my nigga, but like,
hold on.
My 11, 12, 13, 14,
saying that
15,
every child out here is capable of now being vaccinated without a parent even being notified.
Right, my kid can go to school, and the nurse can be like, "Yo, just take the vaccine."
There's no argument that makes sense that says that all of these kids should now be allowed to be under this circumstance because there's a rarity that says that we need to allocate for these kids that are under this circumstance.
We're not giving them these type of rights on other decisions.
Right.
We don't give them the right to.
They just put up the shit to be able to vote at age 16 versus 18, and they denied that. So you can't even vote at 16, but I can say, yeah, go ahead and stick me at 11.
By yourself. You can't get on birth control without a parent's consent. So you mean to tell me
that's in the bill too?
Birth control?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me. Like you
it's
mean to
completely
tell me
crazy
that I can agree to a vaccination but not birth control or not like any type of choice?
Well, that's in it. Yeah, that is birth control.
The birth control is in the bill.
No,
the birth control is in the bill, which just makes it worse.
But that's what I'm saying.
That makes it worse.
I think if you decide I'm gonna start fucking, you should have the decision of whether to get on birth control.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, absolutely
so
not.
Hold on. So you can decide I'm ready to have sex.
Can I answer this?
So you can go. So no, as a man, I can go
we heard you.
I can go buy
that you want to sell drugs.
So a 9-year-old should be able to get on birth control because she chose to go fuck somebody.
So we're not talking about 9-year-olds.
Why are we not? Because we're talking about 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
So why are we
not talking about 11-year-olds when it comes to birth control?
Why are we not?
So.
What's in the bill?
So hold on.
All that.
So
I know. So why are we not? Because we're talking about this as a reality right now. So I'm not going to talk about it as a hypothetical when we know it's a reality. So why are we talking about 11-year-olds?
Hold up.
The 9-year-old is a hypothetical, but you just said if you're old enough.
The phone number is 914-205-5425. Everybody, don't forget to like and share this video while we're live. Come on, we gotta get these numbers up.
So what I'm asking is, let me ask you, because the hypothetical is 9 years old. Yeah, call in. Y'all got it. They got the number now. 9 years old.
I forgot to tell them to go to YouTube and do the same.
I thought I was hard on the phone.
Y'all know Kirk let the kids.
But nah, so what I'm asking is, as a 9-year-old, that's a hypothetical. I'm bringing it up as hypothetical. But if we're opening this up as at age 11, and you're saying that if once you fucking, you should have the right to go get on birth control. So I'm saying if a 9-year-old walks out here because they meet a rapist or they meet somebody who starts playing with them and they like the shit and don't realize that it's something they're not supposed to be doing, and so then they are now doing this as like I'm choosing to do this because my parent don't know, and now I want to go get on birth control because now I know what this is and my parent don't know. You're saying this should be okay, and I'm asking how and why. So let's just answer that. Because that's what the reality is that we're facing now.
So first of all, you gotta keep this in context. context. You're gonna use an extreme example.
So
like
11-year-old. So an 11-year-old. Take out 9-year-old. 11-year-old. That's not the extreme example. That's the reality now.
I thought you laid it up for me to slam dunk.
Because I said I was speaking of the hypothetical, and you said if I'm gonna speak on an extreme hypothetical, then you don't want to answer it or however you about to say. So I'm gonna take away whether you say it or not. I'm gonna take away the extreme hypothetical, and let's say they're an 11-year-old, and that's the reality of their situation. Answer the same question because now that's the reality. It's not an extreme hypothetical. So go ahead and answer.
Kirk's in his bag. Pay attention.
So the actual statistics of 11-year-olds who are sexually active would still put them in a very extreme minority. And 11-year-old cannot walk into a pharmacy and purchase birth control, and 11-year-old cannot go into their doctor and ask for birth control. So
without the parent, but they're about to be able to.
So even with this bill, that still isn't relevant. But if we're talking about high school, so we're talking about
when you open up Pandora's box. When you open up Pandora's box,
no.
Listen, I'm just being objective. I just want to help you out here.
Because when you open up Pandora's box,
I don't need you to be objective. Let me answer the question.
You're not answering. You're saying that shit don't be happening. So
the city is opting to provide these things for these minors without their parents' knowledge. That's in the bill.
That's what we're saying, and you're saying it's okay because
I just want to make that clear before
we're
you go further.
It's about to be possible. Okay, so if it's possible, is it okay? Is the question?
So we're gonna
hold on. You got to let him go. You got to let him go.
You won't be letting him go. We ain't talking that bullshit. I'm just saying.
So they hate to give facts on this show, right?
All right, give
so
a fact.
let's give a fact. Can a minor, even with this bill, can a minor
shit on the show like that?
Can a minor by themselves, with this bill, walk into a doctor's office or a pharmacy and purchase birth control by themselves?
They can't necessarily walk into a pharmacy, but they can go through the city and get these things.
So would that be by themselves?
Pretty much, because they don't have to notify their parents.
Would it be by themselves?
They don't have to notify their parents.
Or would they have to go through a program dealing with their school?
If my kids aren't notified me, they by their damn self.
I agree.
Are you notifying a guardian, a parent or guardian?
So by themselves would be your kid left their house at 11 years old, walked to the pharmacy and bought birth control. Your kid by themselves would have been.
You could go to the school nurse and get these services, my nigga, while you in school, and your parents don't have to be notified.
Work because you're not just going to the pharmacy buying birth control. It's
by the way,
like, that's what. But this is what I'm saying. So they keep saying, what if an 11-year-old could do this? That you can't. 11-year-old can't do that. They have to go see a doctor.
So if an 11-year-old could get a vaccination.
Can your 11-year-old make a doctor's appointment by themselves?
Can I explain to you why I'm even bringing this up by that not being the point? It's irrelevant. No, because that's irrelevant.
He told me to answer the question. It is.
Fuck the question now.
It is relevant.
No, because if you're not even going to answer it, because we've given you more than enough time to answer it. What we're saying is, by even opening up step one, you then open Pandora's box to be able to do a whole bunch of things. It's just like the argument that Umar always makes when he talks about if you say that pedophilia becomes okay, then it's a whole roundabout opening that you now are opening for you to go to court and say, because this is lawfully, legally okay, all of these other things now have to be okay too. So what I'm saying is, when you start to take out the parental consent in general, parents, guardians, all of that, and start to allow 11-year-olds to make decisions for themselves, then you need to start talking about what other possibility they can put in front of these 11-year-olds to make decisions for themselves that will then become lawful, because these things are becoming lawful too. So what I'm saying is, don't sit and act like because this thing is being pushed and it's only for this little segment right here, that is not also opening up Pandora's box for a whole bigger segment of people to be affected, because that's how everything works, dog. So they're going to condition your mind to be okay with this, so that then they can start giving you all this other bullshit, and you'll be conditioned to argue that is okay too, because in 5 years when you start seeing this bullshit being okay, you'll be like, yeah, that makes sense too, when really it don't, because this shouldn't even have been okay.
Oh, let's take it further. The school decides, hey man, every kid come on in, have a little meeting with the nurse. The nurse comes in, some random doctor comes in, hey man, hey Billy, no, hey Jaquan.
I knew he was gonna go so far left.
We think that you should get this vaccine, blah 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 blah. Well, I don't know, man. My parents might not. Don't worry about your parents. We think it's a good idea. What do you think, Jaquan? Sign this. Jaquan's not required to ask his parents. His parents don't even have to know.
Parents don't ask because they don't be checking up on what happened.
They shoot your goddamn kid up in the school and you don't know what they're shooting about.
Because that ain't even the first thing that's on their head.
Who's arguing that was a good thing?
That's
You're arguing for it being okay in
you said
general.
You was on the fence,
we're
nigga.
telling you if you make it okay for this demographic over here, now it's okay for everybody. So if it's okay for everybody, that's what's going to happen. And that's okay.
I actually made it really clear for the population I thought it
oh my God.
was important for. The high school age students
and what we're saying.
Right, but it doesn't say high school age. It starts at 11 years old.
Oh my God!
So you can't say high school.
So I have a question.
11.
You can easily just make the bill for 14-year-olds. You can easily just start it at 15. I still wouldn't be okay with it.
Has anybody dealt with students or children who are wards of the court, orphans,
yes.
or children who are unhoused?
Yes. Can I say something?
Because it makes it matters.
Yes, and we told you.
You know why it doesn't fucking matter?
You
know why it doesn't matter? Because I'm a parent. My children are not wards of the court. They're wards of me. So I don't want.
You're also being affected by that.
Hold the fuck up.
But I'm telling you, I'm
a goddamn parent, and I don't want
irrelevance?
DC government shooting my kids up with whatever the fuck they want to shoot them with. I don't. At this point, no offense.
Do your kids go to public school?
No offense.
Do your kids go to public school?
One of them does.
I'm talking about, dude.
Do you feel like that public school would give them a vaccine without your knowledge?
I don't know, and I'm not gonna give them the goddamn chance.
Yeah,
what I'm telling you is
ruthless.
I don't give a fuck about wards of the court, nigga.
I work in a public school, and I think they would do that.
But this really
don't matter. I know. If given the instruction, they would do that.
Ask questions so we can get the dialogue going. Like it matters. That's a real question. Do you think DC public schools would give your child a vaccine without your knowledge?
Yes. I do.
They give medicine. If your child comes to the nurse's office saying they got a headache, they'll give them something.
Bro, DC public schools got sexual orientation shit all up in the schools with little kids. They got that shit everywhere.
That's a different thing though. Between teaching them about sex ed and a vaccine in their arm, that's a little different.
Nigga, my kindergartner shouldn't know nothing about that.
So what y'all saying? Sex ed need to be taken out of schools?
What I'm saying is,
he likes to reach sometimes. He be like, vaccine, transgender. This is the same.
That's I didn't say anything like that.
So are we addressing that? Because that might be the next question then.
Hold on, let's put a cap on this topic. Let's do our round. Let's do a round robin. You are against the bill.
Against. I'm also against.
100% against.
I think the bill needs to be amended.
Okay. There we have it.
So you do think that children, I don't even think 20-year-olds are smart enough to know what the fuck they should be injecting in their body.
I get why I feel like it should be amended. I feel like the amendment is even like
I think it should be amendment,
bro. That joint needs to be trashed and rewritten all completely, revisited and all of that.
But if
they rushing because of the whole virus and all of this,
you got to realize, bro, how many people are, especially kids who are growing up in households where even if they're in a household, their parent is absent.
Push a whole lot of agendas. Like they're using this as a baseline. Like the scare tactic of COVID, using that as a baseline to be like, well, we got to vaccinate. But by the way, let's add in birth control. Let's add in these things. Let's add in these things. We forget that even the flu was a pandemic at one point.
I'm trying to understand why you keep saying you have to understand.
Are you against birth control?
No, I'm not against birth control. I'm against birth control for people that are underage that can't make a decision for themselves. Absolutely.
So do you think underage people are going to get birth control because of this bill?
It makes it allowable. At this point, they've opened the floodgates.
It's not what I asked you. Do you think people underage are going to be able to get birth? How?
If I could have gone through my doctors and to get birth control without my mom's consent, I would have definitely done so.
That's already a law. They can already get it. I know
women that did.
They can already get it.
The people are calling their
like it ain't even know whether you can or can't.
Their mother's mother, their friends' mothers. They're calling everybody but their moms to get on birth control and do things. They're always circumventing the system. So it's happening now.
So why would you have done it?
Just because of the inability to have those conversations in my home. That's why I would have done it.
But you were sexually active, right?
Absolutely.
So if you're sexually active, you don't believe you should have the means to protect yourself against having a baby. If you're sexually active,
protect yourself against having a baby.
The age that I just told you
doesn't always mean mature. Think about the people that started having sex early. A lot of guys, y'all were raped. Y'all were having sex at like 9, 10, 11, 12, and you can't tell me.
Most of us were lying about it.
No, I'm just saying.
I know I was.
So you want to introduce a baby into that mix? Because that's what happened.
I lied on my dick until I was like 15.
But I'm just saying.
I ain't no virgin.
I'm just saying it doesn't just because you're having sex doesn't make you mature enough to make those type of decisions.
So whether you want to make the decision or not, if he leaves it in, and nuts in you, you could end up with a baby.
Absolutely.
But these are things that your parents need to know. At least I want to know.
But do you think your 15-year-old mind was rational like it is now?
If you let if I have a 15-year-old daughter and she's getting hit raw, I want her to get some birth control because I don't want little Ray impregnate my 15-year-old daughter.
But wouldn't you want to know, or you don't care to know?
I don't want her to be pregnant. But that's what I don't want.
But do you want to know?
So you don't want her to be pregnant, but you want her to be twerking in a goddamn
stop.
I don't want
restaurant in
I
Dallas.
don't want her to be pregnant. And if she understands, like, damn, I'm gonna have sex, but I don't want little Ray to impregnate me. I need to go get on the pill.
But I can't tell my father.
I welcome my daughter's understanding. Like,
you
I'm
can
going to
literally
be sexually active.
You can literally go in any convenience store after you have raw sex and go buy a Plan B.
But you got to be 18. You got to show ID to get a Plan B, if I'm not mistaken.
You do.
Do you?
Yes,
you do.
Well, you got to do like we used to do at the liquor store.
Can you
get the crackhead to go in there?
No, but so I feel like
you were smart enough underage to give money to a crackhead to buy your Plan B. But you saying the girl not smart enough?
No.
The doctor to
the crackheads bought my alcohol. They didn't have Plan B back then.
Get birth control.
But because it doesn't make it rational. Just because you're having
makes
sex,
sense. What I'm telling you is,
it doesn't make it rational. It doesn't make it okay. I think that's what it is for me.
But you're having sex, and then you're smart enough to like, damn.
You have to but you have to watch.
Ray, my high school boyfriend. I don't want a whole life with Ray.
So
I don't want a baby with Ray.
Cohen, what you have to understand is the difference between.
You trust Ray with the condom?
No, listen. Birth control impacts your body.
Do you trust the state?
Just babies. Birth control does a lot to women's body. It changes your weight. It changes your skin. It changes everything. Like, you can blood clots. People were getting seizures. You mean to tell me your 15-year-old daughter's having seizures? She didn't tell you she was on birth control. You okay with that?
I'm not okay with that. But I'm more okay with her making a decision.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the rationality to make those decisions because she doesn't know the effects of birth control.
Which is why if she approaches you to want to make those type of decisions, they should direct you to the
question. So if you were sexually active at 16, did you feel like you had the wherewithal to understand birth control and no birth control?
I knew that birth control meant not having a baby, but I did not know that birth control meant possibly gaining weight. I didn't know that meant, possibly protecting me from ovarian cancer or, puberty not puberty, but pimples and stuff like that. I didn't know those type of things. Kids. I didn't know that it could possibly cause me seizures or blood clots. I didn't know any of those things. All I knew is it meant that I wasn't having a baby.
Do you think your doctor explain those things before they prescribe it to you?
No, because medicine is still a business. So they're going to tell you really quickly, there's going to be fine print, but they're not going to say, by the way, before you take this, chances are you could gain 100 pounds. Chances are your sex drive is going to drop. They're not going to tell you that.
They say real fast.
That's not your focus.
I'll say it again.
Have you ever been on birth control?
I was on birth control for 16 years.
Did your doctor explain to you the side effects and benefits of birth control?
No, the benefits, but they never explained the side effects. They never told me that it could cause all types. Like some people went blind on birth control. I had a girlfriend that went like momentary blindness because of her birth control. It wasn't until she got it taken out and all of that they was like, oh, it was your birth control. It was affecting you. Or the IUD, it travels sometimes if you don't put it in right.
Yeah, shit move around. So you expect somebody, mama or daddy, to know that, and you didn't even know that after you went to the doctor.
I know that now.
Know that.
At 32,
someday she's gonna be somebody's mother, and she has that experience, so she knows that.
Yo,
so she can be able to tell her
daughter moved her
that.
IUD out the site.
Well, not me. I didn't take IUD.
Come on now.
But I'm just saying, as a woman,
as a parent, yes, I would expect the parent to know that.
I know that. Before you give your kids baby Tylenol, y'all don't look up and say, let me figure out what the side effects are.
Oh, I dumped that Tylenol.
And every parent don't know, and every parent ain't going to look, and every parent might be the reason why you're saying sometimes parents should be that. But the reality is, you open up the floodgates. I ain't about to keep talking about it.
I'll take it.
Next topic, we just done because that's all.
Is there any calls?
It's a long time.
I think it's time for final thoughts. It's 11:30.
Niggas don't want to be a part of the topic.
Listen, man. Now, listen. I would like to say this, man. Y'all niggas is wild as shit. Once again, shout out to Trayon White. The only nigga out here really like, really like, actually
really like what?
As a councilman, like actually voting for the things that are going to help the people
that
we care about.
I mean, listen, I criticize every politician, right? So the turkeys and shit, I'm not impressed by that. But the fact that he was willing to stay in his ground and not vote for that bill, you gotta give that man props for that. Because everybody else goddamn sold the farm.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at niggas like Kenyon McDuffie, Rob White. Y'all niggas sign that shit? Come on, my nigga.
But I think a lot of politicians are out of touch.
Nah, fuck
like
that. Don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Rob White,
Rob ain't out of touch.
So Rob White and Kenyon McDuffie definitely aren't out of touch. And I would look forward to hearing their commentary on the bill. Did anybody get their opinion on why they voted for this bill?
No. It's not posted.
I can't find it.
I would actually look forward.
Was the Trayon.
Yeah, the only one that you can read is Trayon White's, and it made sense.
Okay.
Wow, I wouldn't doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to hearing the opinion of why the other people, because I got an idea, but
I mean, guess who introduced the bill though? Vincent Gray.
Great, yeah. Because the bill came about in 2016.
Vinny G.
So that's something to look at. If you guys Google the bill, the actual bill was set forth in 2016. So this has been in council for almost 5 years now. So it's good to look back at the history, the amendments and progressions of certain bills.
And that's what's even crazy. This is the progression of that bill?
Yeah.
Like this is the better version? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy.
It is. It definitely is.
So on that note, it's that time. Miss Hazel.
Don't say nothing else.
What are you?
Don't say nothing else.
I just want
to say.
We just want to get to your final thoughts.
Sunflower haze.
Listen, he's about to say a whole nother name. So offhand, I think that the twerking in Dallas, it was appropriate initially. Once the owner said, please stop doing this in my establishment, I think that they went too far. I do think that he had a responsibility to his other patrons to possibly just change the music selection and then go on with business. But to get in the middle of the floor and have that entire moment, I think he went way too far. I think it was bad for business. And I think that just because you own an establishment doesn't make you a businessman. It doesn't make you somebody who knows how to conduct good business. And it was clear in that he's not that kind of person. He doesn't really know. With the celebrity fights, I'm all in. Like I would love to see some celebrity death match, or what was that, VH1 MTV from the MTV show on MTV. I would love to see more celebrities like box and just get it out, especially the ones that's always beefing, the ones that's always got something to say. You know what I'm saying? Like take all that Twitter beef, all them Twitter thumbs, and go into the ring and let us watch. And I mean, I don't know if your career can survive that. I don't know if Chris Brown and Soulja Boy fought and Chris Brown lost, if he could survive that. But I'm all for it. I'm here for it. I think that the age of the celebrity is changing. People aren't as dialed in with celebrities as before. I think they're losing their platform. Agreed. So it's going to be interesting to see how they recover from all of this. And in terms of the politics in the bill, I'm against it, completely against it. I don't think that an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, I don't even think that a 15-year-old should determine whether or not they can get a vaccine, because again, with things like birth control, I didn't know the side effects of birth control. It wasn't until I became an adult and was like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I had friends being impacted by it for me to understand that it's because of the birth control and things of that nature. And what was the other thing? What was the last thing?
I think it was like 3. That was it.
Was that everything? And again, shout out to, let me tell y'all first what everybody is. He is an Aquarius.
Dang, you remember everybody.
He is a Gemini. I don't remember what you are.
Virgo.
Of Virgo. Okay, so for what it's worth, I'm gonna need y'all to understand their energies, and I'm a Pisces. And so I always think it's really interesting as the only feminine energy on this platform to watch them argue it out and kind of get those things off their chest. But,
Trip Simpson's pretty feminine.
Nigga, before she came here, you was a resident feminist.
So yeah, I just wanted y'all to know what their energy is. And shout out to Kirk for having a voice today. Listen, Kirk loved the kids. So when we start talking about the kids, Kirk was not having it. Y'all really can't see, but he was turning red. Like, my man is passionate about them kids. So, whatever programs and things that he's supporting, like, definitely shout out to that man. Kids. And be a part of that. Support him, and if it's a mentorship, whatever it is, really, really hold that man down, because he's really doing something for the community, and the next generation is most important.
Any other time you would clap for somebody's final thoughts.
So I'm going on my headphones.
How convenient.
Any other time he give you the clap. Anyways,
Are we good? Oh shit, no.
You good on this side?
The table twerking. So you gotta pay attention to perspective and recognize everybody's rights, everybody's wrongs. They had the right to come in there and dance based off of the music that was playing. They were wrong after the owner, who had the right to control his atmosphere, addressed them. And so obviously, you know, if somebody tells you what to do in their establishment, or just somebody says, you know, can you please calm down? I ask you politely, because I did see he did come and approach them very politely originally in the conversation, and they continue to go get rowdy and do what they wanted to do. So he addressed them as he chose to. I think as a businessman, you should be able to keep your composure though, and not address them as such. And on top of that, know who to address in that circumstance. And so the DJ, since it was clear he had to come multiple times, I doubt it was that same song the entire time. So the DJ, he clearly could have just told, you know, change the vibe of music that you're playing, so that my restaurant vibe is different.
Gospel on and let them calm down right quick.
You don't even gotta go that far. I'm liking a good like.
Exactly.
That wouldn't work either. So
you put some Donnie McClurkin on, maybe that would have slowed everybody down a little bit.
You could have played some Easy Little Party Life by Jay-Z. Could have played some I was about to say DMX. You don't want no
Please,
DMX.
see, that's the thing. Don't play no DMX game.
The DMX Aaliyah joint, like that's real chill. You gotta just go with the right vibe.
Black people are not this retarded. We can't just listen to music and just chill.
Yeah, I try to claim music ain't influential, but you want to be. You always toe the line of what's influential and what's ain't.
Nigga,
I
said a whore shouldn't be influential. I didn't say
music touches us on a spiritual
I let
level.
y'all, but these my final thoughts, and so I'm not done.
Ooh, I know that's right.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to you.
But nigga, you.
I was like, nah. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is everybody plays a role, and you got to pay attention to what everybody's role was and what their rights and wrongs, flaws, and all is. Give you a Beyonce line on the way out, because they could have played Beyonce. Beyonce would have been straight. Play some single ladies. They'd have twerked respectfully. They wouldn't have been on the table. They'd have been on the floor.
They just be like this.
Like, come on now, you gotta get it right. He says his audience is 75% women, which means there's probably a lot of single ladies in there.
He knew exactly what he was doing with that music.
Exactly. I think he knew what he was doing with that speech. He knew he can get more women coming through that joint.
No.
Even though he just disrespected them, but
I don't think he disrespected them, but all right.
The Legends Only League, Tyson and them. That joint is genius.
LOL.
LOL. And I think it's intentional. Everything be intentional. You gotta pay attention to these people. They be knowing their moves. He know they gonna laugh Nate Robinson out. He knew Nate wasn't ready. You think he went to some of his practices or something?
To his practices.
He definitely was peeping Nate.
He was checking out the scene. I don't know. We gonna see though. But yeah, I mess with it. I think that joint is dope. I think it's genius. Tyson wants to get back in the ring, obviously. I don't think Roy Jones does, so he gonna have to find another comp. I think Evander Holyfield should be the next one. I think that'd be a good little go, as long as he don't bite his ear or go crazy or nothing.
I don't know that I want to see that again.
I don't think I would either.
Y'all don't think so? I think y'all would. You could be just as hype as you just now was for this joint, that you wouldn't think that you would be hyped for.
I think anything that
happen.
Tyson is attached to is probably what it is.
And that's my point. So he's just gonna be good either way.
I was real.
I fell asleep before the fight. I woke up and
that means y'all getting old. That's what that means.
I already know. But it was round one of, I think, the Nate Robinson joint, or like somebody had just finished performing or something. It was about to start the Nate Robinson joint. But I definitely was sleeping the pre-show. But I'm good on that. LOL, good little joint. What's the last one? The vaccines. You already know.
Kirk love the kids.
You already know.
I'm sorry.
Wrong one. But
that's why we about to hire a production assistant.
Exactly, because he's just so hyped with the buttons and he's just tripping.
I was with you. I was just trying to hit the gunshots.
I appreciate it. I'm not even mad. But with the vaccines, I mean, I'm already anti-vaccine either way, so you know how I feel about it. But I'm not going to go that far because I don't want to turn everybody off, because I know some of you guys love being vaccinated. You love just fixing the problem with a quick fix rather than like fixing the actual problem that's going to solve everybody's health issues. So with that being said, I still don't think 11-year-olds need to be making decisions on their health, despite what situation they may be in. What the reality is, if the government isn't providing parental assistance to the point where they feel parents are capable of being parents, you don't then just bypass the parents and go straight to the children, because the children were never ready to be not children, but the decision maker. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So if you're feeling like parents aren't well equipped to be parents in a society that you are still making it capable of them being parents, and I'm not saying like you need to be on that whole birth control wave either, But the reality is you need to be supporting these people. That's what the whole government is for, is to govern the people, to help them provide for themselves. So parents need more resources so that they can provide for their children. Not you just saying, all right, forget the whole parent piece. We can just go straight to the kids. The government not birthing kids. So why is the government making decisions for kids or allowing kids to make decisions for themselves? None of that adds up. And so I just feel like we need to put more pressure on the government to stop trying to make decisions over people's lives, particularly our lives, because if they show, and this is a point my girl texted me, it's ironic, if they show that this like works to calm kids down, to control kids, to do anything that they already complain black kids do too much that they don't like, if you don't think that they're going to use that to continue to like poison us and get us supposedly mentally ill and ADD, ADHD, all these things that we are not. We just aren't made to sit in a classroom for 8 hours the same way you're not supposed to be sitting at a work desk for 8 hours. Like, but you expect a kid to be doing things like that. So, how do I want to wrap this little spiel up? Don't interrupt. I'm gonna think. Hold on.
I ain't saying nothing.
All right, I'm done thinking. The last piece is another good point that she made was that we don't even know this women's world as far as doctors and all this stuff is concerned. I don't even feel like we should be speaking on that. Like we shouldn't even be talking about birth control, the amount of information doctors give women. We ain't in them doctors' rooms, them doctors' offices. We ain't in them patients' rooms. We're not in their shoes. So we really don't know. And I know for a fact, based on these conversations that they tell us, is that they're very underinformed, they're very under taken care of, and we always argue that they need to be protected. So I think protecting them will be acknowledging their voice and recognizing that they be in these rooms not getting the treatment that they should get, not getting equal treatment. So why are we going to circumvent processes that are going to put them even more danger at a younger age? I think that's trippy too. So those are my final thoughts. You can do what you will with that information, but hopefully you make the right decision, smart decision, well-informed decision.
Thank you, Easy Street.
The button master. Just press the button. Don't say nothing. Give me another applause. I wanted to make my final thoughts real long because you know Cosby about to rap.
It's raining men. Wait. Hallelujah. Now you just pressing it for no reason. Now you just having fun.
You gotta
like
get into the like homophobic range. Like if
I know
everybody's like, oh, I just
people wouldn't even have noticed that it was.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't catch that.
Line up.
You got a dirty.
Fight
you got
out back. Let's
got
fight.
a dirty. got a dirty gay behind.
Hold up. You have a dirty
It's like,
game.
don't call out. Don't call me out for my button pushing.
Anyway,
I know you wanted to press it. I know, but look, see, that's how you train them. They ain't press it, right?
Oh, I'm still gonna press the button.
Press the goddamn button.
Anyway,
Mr. Digital, Jesus motherfucking Lord, have mercy.
Number one, shout out to everybody who tuned in this evening. We appreciate you so much. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and like the page on Facebook. We appreciate all our listeners. Make sure you like and share this feed as well. Let's kick it off with the business owner, the restaurant owner in Dallas, Texas. Number one, you are in Dallas, Texas. The culture of Dallas, Texas is on display here. I lived in Texas for 5 years. Shout out to Houston, Texas. I spent some time in Dallas. I understand how these little restaurants, bars, and lounges work. You can't skirt the fence on what you want to be as a restaurant. Are you going to be a fine dining establishment that has great service, great servers, great food, great furniture, the aesthetic? Or are you going to be a place that hires a DJ that plays twerk music to bring people in because you don't have enough business? You can't be both, and you can't skirt the line. I don't agree with the woman standing on the furniture after, he asked her to move. But I do understand if you set the stage for these things to happen, these things are going to happen. I've been in restaurant hospitality for 10 years. And if I want to get a party live, the first thing I'm going to do is put a DJ in my budget.
Get the women moving.
So if my goal is to put a DJ in a budget to get some ass shaking, and if I walked in that restaurant and I heard throw that ass in a circle, I want to see some ass being thrown in a circle. And if I walked in that restaurant with my mother, my aunt, and that was playing and I was supposed to be in a fine dining restaurant, I'd be like, oh, they faked me out. This is some nigga shit. Masquerading, it's fine dining. So as people, we got to get that together. So giving a self-righteous speech about what the culture is and how I'm for the culture, when you're exploiting the culture by using the music and not accepting the people that come along with that music and that culture, you're a hypocrite. When it comes to, what was the other shit? The vaccines. I'll just skip straight to the vaccines. I haven't heard the opinion of the other people on the council. Shout out to Trayon White. I respect Trey. And I respect his opinion on a lot of issues. But I also understand that there's people in the community who often don't get their voices heard and aren't represented by legislation. And I understand the shock value of certain legislation when you see age groups 11 to whatever, 12 to whatever, 15 to whatever. It has a lot of shock value to it. But when you dig deeper into the actual bill and what is actually going to be done and what can be done with consent and without consent, it gets a little clearer at that point. When it like girls getting birth control or kids being able to access certain services, you still need to have some type of mechanism, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a nurse, whether it's an adult, has to be a conduit. They cannot just walk into a pharmacy and purchase certain things. They cannot walk into the school nurse's office, even though we think that's a thing that they can go in there and do it. That is currently not a thing. We're projecting the worst case scenario on these situations because a lot of the things we talked about today have not happened. And we're not sure they ever will happen.
We in a pandemic with 200,000 people died, and you talking about worst case scenario, my nigga? Are you paying attention?
Let the man finish. Let the man finish.
So that's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Come on, man. Yo, come on. Let the man.
Is that what we doing?
Bill Gates paid him good for this.
That's what. I just need to know that's what we. That's what we doing. That's what
doing that.
Yes, we are. Oh, that's what we're doing.
Next? Me.
That's what we're doing.
Obviously, you done.
I'm not done.
You ain't saying shit.
So just because you don't agree don't mean I'm not saying shit. So that's what. So I just need to know, Kurt. That's what we doing. So when I don't agree with you, I get to interrupt your final thoughts. Is that what we doing?
He's right.
Is that what we doing? Is that what we establishing?
Is that what we doing? That what we doing? That's what I'm saying.
November 30th. Is that we establishing? Because you don't agree, you get to interrupt.
Are you gonna finish?
Why he drinking his water?
He asked you if you gonna finish.
Exactly. I mean, I'm curious.
Go on. You got it, man. You get it.
So, one thing I like to do is bring to this show is
hold on real quick. Arm wrestle that nigga again after the show.
If y'all want to know who won,
no. I'm just saying.
So you have to bring facts and facts and perspective to the show, right? Because we asked the question in the middle of the show: has anybody heard anybody else's opinion from the council or anybody else break down the bill besides Trayon White? So we're going off one person's opinion on this show.
I wasn't versus
so you still interrupted.
I wanted to ask you a question real quick.
It's not this final thoughts.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
not
it's for your
about
final thoughts. It's gonna help you out. Them council members are people too.
Hold on.
My opinion wasn't based off of Trayon's. Keep going.
You gotta let the man. You gotta let the man go, man.
That's not a solid question.
Tonight, y'all.
That's not a solid question.
This is all gonna come back on me.
Come on, Virgo.
Go off one man's
It's
opinion.
all gonna come back on my final thoughts.
Them man's opinion.
Come on, Virgo.
So-
Virgo, you got this.
So Kirk Keys has adopted the Republican filibuster. When he hears something he doesn't like, he has to.
I'm surprised the Gemini
he has to.
like this.
He has to interject. So back to what I was saying. we're going off the opinion on this particular show of one council member. There were 7 to 8 council members who voted, because we only mentioned one council member on the show and his opinion. And I asked, had anybody heard Robert White's opinion? Kenya McDuffie's opinion? Had anybody else mentioned anybody else's opinion? And the answer was no. So we're basing the opinion off of one council member. I respect Kenya McDuffie and I respect Robert White very much. So I would like to hear why they voted for this bill, because these are black men that do great things for the community, and I respect what they do. So when I say I don't particularly agree all the way with the bill, I think it needs to be amended. I need to understand how they came to this point, because one thing about politics is a lot of nuance with it, right? So I need to understand how we ended up at this point, because they're respected people who voted for this. When it comes to Jake Paul and TOT, the LOL League, that shit's genius. Shout out to Triller. They were able to get their whole thing off. They got their artists performing. They had 3 artists perform.
Itching to press the button.
I didn't do it.
He has that gay twitch. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm gay.
You don't want to talk about niggas got that thing off.
Giggity.
He's geeked. He's geeked up over there. Shout out to them. I think it was a very genius. It was a genius idea, because we've shown in America that we have nostalgia for our best days. Whether it's the guy who always talks about how many girls he had in high school when he scored 4 or 5 touchdowns, or the car he had. Whether it's the girl, whether it's the girl who talked about how slim she was before she had the babies, and how her and her girls did it up back in the day. We have a affinity for nostalgia in America, and these smart companies, they tap into it. Just like Facebook will send you your 2-year anniversary, 3-year anniversary, 4-year anniversary, and you post that shit immediately because you're fond of nostalgia. Just like Ice Cube captured that nostalgia with the Big 3. He understood how we care about our legends.
That's a fact.
And this is the next example of them capitalizing on that nostalgia. Like, everybody remembers when we saw our first Mike Tyson fight, the energy around it, the fight party. You was with your favorite aunt, uncle. For us younger people, you was with your favorite aunt, uncle, cousins over the house, having a good time, eating. Like, the energy was contagious. If you older than us, 40, 50, you remember you threw the fight party. Or if you was really getting money, you went to the fight, and you remember how special that was to you. And all these things do.
Money like that, please.
Yeah, all these things do. They capture that same energy. Just like when these bands, the Rolling Stones, can go on tour, or the old hip hop. Think about when the New Edition shit came out. People were so psyched over that shit. Like, America is fond of nostalgia, so they capture that energy, and they gonna make a big ass bag over it. So shout out to them for doing that. I'm looking forward to see more legends fight each other. And in summation, man, I just encourage people to dig deeper, understand what your issues are, find your sideline, and just roll with it, man.
Excellent final thoughts. I don't know where to start, but I guess I'll start with the twerking hoes.
I'm ready to interrupt.
Just remember, I didn't really interrupt.
Yeah, you did.
He actually did good today.
I tried to stop. I tried to mediate y'all's interruption.
I don't know who this man is. He did good today.
I tried to mediate y'all's interruption. I ain't really.
He ain't interrupt you, bro.
But it's cool. If you want to interrupt me, that's fine. That shit don't bother me. It don't bother me. So, as far as the situation in Dallas goes, I mean, we can make all the hypothetical situations we want up all day. The fact of the matter is, the man came to these women and said, homegirl, chill. Homegirl, chill. Homegirl, chill. Don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do that. It was all cool. I think he probably would have still been just saying, please don't do this. Please don't do that. Until the big bitch got on the table and started twerking. I would have lost it too.
She was on a chair.
I mean,
we saw it in the video.
It's not up to you to say what we saw.
I saw it.
You saw it.
in the
Not
video.
enough for me to say what I saw.
Believe my lying eyes, huh?
I'll just say this. She violated. I'm gonna tell you why she mostly violated.
Tell us why you mad.
I could see if it was like a good looking woman twerking. I'd be like,
Ooh, wait a minute.
the nigga probably would have been nice about it, like, man, please.
Pretty
just,
privilege is a thing.
just please.
He
get off
would
the
have. He
table.
would. That's real shit.
Pretty privilege.
Just please get off the table. But it was the fact that it was her. That nigga said stop. The record scratch.
Cut, DJ, cut that shit.
Cut the music.
Hey, Quan, cut the music off.
Scared.
I'm tired of you niggas. Yo, shout out to that nigga. 6 gun salute to that nigga. Yo, why do I get this nigga six gun salute? Because I agree with him for checking this hood rat behavior. These bitches are out of control right now. Out of control. Until a Chinese man sock him in the mouth at the weave spot. Next thing you know, we gotta protect black women.
I was with you today. We were doing so good.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying. Like,
hey, you can't set a hood rat trapping and get mad because hood rat show up.
listen, man. Listen, man.
Hennessy and throw that ass in a circle.
Listen.
Is that not a hood rat trap?
I want to get serious for a second. So we talk a lot about protecting black women, which I agree with. We should protect black women, right? But what black women, some black women, because most understand, some black women need to understand, part of protecting black women is the part where the black women who need to be protected need to realize there are consequences and there are requirements that come with protection. You can't be out here wilding, doing anything you want and expecting protection. You have to operate within our culture with some dignity and some honor and some respect.
You're killing me, Small.
So no, to get it reciprocated, because if it was a nigga out here being ratchet with his pants, with his pants halfway down his ass, talking crazy, you know what I'm saying, who got in the same situation, you be like, yo, he should have got kicked
So
out.
you back to respectability politics?
Yes.
No. What I'm
This
back
is
to
definitely
is,
respectability politics.
What I'm back to is respecting yourself and respecting the people around you and respecting the businesses that you patronize. Respect them. If the nigga told you to pipe it down, pipe it the fuck down.
But
That's all I'm saying. I get it. You got the wrong idea because you heard the music. You got the wrong idea. I get it. Throw the answer. You got the wrong idea. But now the nigga told you the idea calmly several times.
but then DJ, play back that ass up after he told you to calm down.
That's
and
not
then
what
the
happened.
DJ.
That's not what happened. But brother, go ahead. If you want to disrespect me, go ahead, brother.
It's the same song.
So you think
It's the same song, bro.
So
Back
listen,
that
they
ass
play
up,
one?
turn that
So they
ass
play
up.
one twerk song?
Just
So
not
listen,
as good.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter what song he played. If you're an adult and I can't ask you to be calm in a fucking business, if I can't ask you to be calm, respect yourself, not have your coochie flying in the air, popping your ass everywhere,
Should call the police.
no, you shouldn't. You should ask her to calm down, and that's what he did.
He did, and she
And
did.
what did
so
they
he should
do?
Call the police.
They taunted the man, and then the big bitch got on the table. That shit would have bothered me too.
Because he looked like a sucker. He's saying, oh, I gotta calm
He
down.
wasn't no sucker. Nothing.
But his motherfucking twerking. He was playing twerk music. He's a sucker.
Hold up, my nigga. That nigga purchased that building and purchased everything in that building. So I respect him if he say he don't want this shit going down. He paid for everything in there,
Is it
not
gonna
you.
hurt business? Is it going to hurt business?
Huh?
You think it's going to hurt his business?
I mean, this. I think the situation might help.
That shit looked pretty cheap to me.
I mean, whatever it looked like to you, that's your opinion. But at the end of the day, he paid for the shit out with his own money. He asked somebody to respect his business, and they decided not to do it. So if you decide not to respect my business, fuck you. And that's it.
Okay.
That's it. You can get the fuck out.
So you can say, you respect my business, you individual woman or women who are disrespecting my business. He chose to address the culture for the
That's
behavior.
not what he did.
Yeah,
I mean,
he definitely, he didn't say.
Cool. Just keep interrupting me and that's fine.
He said,
He
See,
Gucci
I'm
man.
cool.
I mean, he Jeezy'd it in the
he gave
Gucci
a
man
culture
situation.
speech.
This
I
my
did it for
house.
the
I can
culture.
sit here all night and we can go back and forth on my final thoughts.
I did it for the culture.
He did it for the culture.
He
That's
Jeezy.
not what he said.
He Jeezy.
No, he literally
did
said,
say that.
I purchased this so black people can have somewhere nice to go. for the culture. You can take that to Pink. You can take that, because I don't need your money. You can take that somewhere else. But I'm still going to have a DJ that play twerk music, and I'm mad at you for twerking in my establishment.
That's not what he said. He came up with a whole statement. All he told them hoes was to
He apologized. So did he not? Did he not apologize?
Shut the fuck up.
Say, I'm sorry.
The
I
nigga
shouldn't have talked to him that way. And
not-
then at the end of the statement, he said, "I'm sorry. I should have told my DJ to play new music."
I don't even know why he trying to be respectful.
That's
no
his. That's what those are his statements, right?
Cool.
You tried today.
Cool.
He's like,
Cool.
damn.
Cool. But at the end of the day, the nigga explained himself well in his
No,
statement.
at the end of the day, he apologized twice in his statement.
Okay, whatever.
Did he not apologize twice in his statement?
But I think that was the proper.
He apologized twice in his statement.
Shut the fuck up. He
was a
acknowledged where he went
Oh,
wrong.
you don't like this treatment, huh?
He don't like
He
it.
acknowledged where he went wrong. He acknowledged it.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Man, he ain't no rabbit.
Ain't no difference.
Ain't no rabbit when the goddamn pussy ass goddamn. Nah. Listen. So look, bottom line is, them bitches was wrong.
That's going to end up getting edited out.
Oh no, I'm not. We live. It's nothing I can do.
Damn.
I don't give a fuck about that. Anybody mad at that? Come see me.
You can find him with the orange beanie.
That's what you would have done. That's what you would have done.
Okay,
They gonna come see you, big boy.
I can accept that.
Ain't no fun with it.
Big boys.
So look, all you ratchet assholes, get used to it. Niggas ain't having that shit no more.
This nigga does it.
So look,
Does he attention?
Nate Robinson. Listen, man, I got nothing but respect for Nate Robinson, but you got your ass knocked out, nigga, by a Disney clubhouse, nigga. Sorry, but it happened to you. Unfortunately, niggas gonna laugh. Dr. Umar Johnson, where the school at?
Hashtag.
Where the school at?
Hashtag where the school at?
Where the school at? On some DMX.
Some of them going to sleep. Fuck that!
Where the school, where the school, where the school at?
He gonna come see you.
I'm just saying.
He gonna pull up on you.
He worried about Nate Robinson, ain't got no school. No school. No school. What the fuck I was talking about? The vaccines. Yo, shout out to Trayon White. Like, all this motherfucking, what do you call it?
Motherfucking
Hypothetical shit. Nigga, you ain't telling my kids they can do shit without my fucking consent. So, on that note, Mayor Bowser, do the right thing, because this can have monumental repercussions. Do the right thing. All of you niggas, do the right thing.
Check that kid, y'all.
She ain't about to.
Protect our motherfucking kids
Unfortunate.
and do the right thing, because like I'm not with that bullshit. So look, on that note, it's been Straight Talk No Chase for this week. We up out of here. We don't have no love for you motherfucking hoes. Stay the fuck about my establishment. If
I was about to
first
say,
of all, one of the jokes that was twerking was right. I would have just pulled it to the side like, yo.
Talking about that
I'd be like,
first
yo,
video,
shorty,
the one
look,
in the
man,
all black, all the
just
way
don't
back in the corner.
But the big joke, I'd have kicked her out.
You're choosy. Everybody was choosy. You see, he didn't address the girl
Them
in
tables,
that corner.
like you said, them tables didn't look that expensive.
He was choosy.
Get up on my table. Get up off my goddamn table, shorty.
Trip, the choosiest nigga I know. So
Oh no. I'm the most religious nigga you
I'm
know.
not surprised you siding with the choosy restaurant owner.
Well, key word is owner. On that note, though, we out of here, man. God bless, man.
He's against ownership. Does he even really own it? Do we know if he really owns it?
That's not fair.
That ain't fair at all. He yelled at
it's
niggas
fair.
like he owned it.
Yeah, I don't even know if he owned it.
Do you think, sis?
Say nothing feels good if I'm not with you.
Say what?
Sick of these dresses and these Jimmy Choos. Taking them off cause I feel a fool. I don't want no one if I'm not with you.
Y'all niggas soft,
I can stay
man.
up in the bed all day. Dressed in the bed with something hate. In bed all day.
this man.